Today I woke up to the next challenge of Phase 5 being announced. We were told to make something completely different from our submission video. After hours of thinking, I realized I am who I am. I portray who I am through my content, and I am the same on or off camera. With that being said, I think I'll just show you guys something not many people know about me and explain how that shaped who I am today. Obviously, you guys know me by now. My name is King Kryptix or Matthew Jackson. To start this off, I just want you guys to know I have moved a lot. Every place I have lived has shaped me to be the person I am today. I was originally born in Des Moines, Iowa. Honestly, I don't remember living there. I'm just gonna fast forward to the first thing I remember. The first thing I honestly remember is growing up in a small town in Pennsylvania. Kindergarten to 3rd grade was honestly a blur. Nothing really insane happened up until the middle of my 3rd grade year. I came home from school one day and was told my family was moving to Italy. Just a quick reminder that my dad is in the army, which is the reason why I moved so much. I lived in Italy for about 4 years. Living there is where I found my love for sports and wanted to train every day to be the best I could be. With my mom holding a national record for track and field, I had some large shoes to fill.
This is where I believe my drive to be the best at everything I did started. After living in Italy for 4 years, I moved to Germany. This is where I found my love for creating content. Every day I would come home and record a Minecraft video or Call of Duty Capcom. Although my numbers were insanely small at the time, this is where I set my foundation for my future. This taught me the skills of editing and thumbnail making that I use on a daily basis now.
In 2015, I went to my first ever Call of Duty event, ESWC. This was my opportunity to prove to my parents that there are people who make a living off of this. I got to meet some of my biggest inspirations such as Attach and Clayster. The next year I went to the same event. I put myself out there a little more so I was able to meet more of the people I look up to. This is the year I met Pomage for the first time. He literally sat at my table with my mom and I and explained to my mom that being a content creator is something that I can really make happen. This is what really opened my mom's eyes, and after that, she was fully supportive of what I do now. It's so ironic because I could potentially be teammates with the person who made a lot of this possible.
Every year I went to ESWC because it was the only event I could go to living in Europe, at least for Call of Duty. In the summer of 2017, I ended up going to ESL Cologne. That event, I got to meet Tico for the first time and Jasper for the 4th. This was the biggest event I had gone to at the time, and it was also the first event I made sure to create content at. After living in Germany for almost 4 years, I finally moved back to America, the same small town I moved to Italy from. I was basically starting my senior year at a new school. On top of that, the house my parents owned got flooded, so we were forced to live in a 3-bedroom apartment until it was rebuilt. Because of how small my room was, I didn't have enough room for an actual setup, meaning I couldn't create the content I wanted to, so I adapted. I would make Supreme unboxing videos. I would buy Supreme products, unbox them for a video, then resell them so I could continue the cycle the next week. There was a demand for the content, and I was making it. I would record the videos on my iPhone 7, edit them on the iMovie app, then make the thumbnails on my school laptop. While doing this, I still had my future to worry about. I was a senior in high school with no plans. I eventually started taking football seriously, hoping to get offers. I did everything I could to get some offers, and I actually had a lot of interest from coaches around the country. Eventually, I decided to go to Santa Monica College. Reselling Supreme was making me a good amount of money for a 17-year-old, and I was also helping run a clothing brand at the time. These two things gave me the marketing and advertising experience that I now leverage with every single piece of content I put out. Fast forwarding through my senior year, we had a pretty solid football season. My track season was cut short from a quad injury, but overall I still had an amazing season. After somehow graduating, I turned 18 and moved to LA as soon as I did. Living alone in a 1-bedroom apartment, I found myself having a lot of free time. I would roam around Los Angeles vlogging and taking pictures. I eventually started streaming a ton. After going to multiple events, I got to meet some friends I made through streaming who I consider brothers today. Every night I would stream and I was putting up a few YouTube videos a week. Eventually, FaZe Clan announced their pop-up on Melrose. With previous experience from being at the pop-up in New York City, I knew I had to be first in line. I showed up with 2 of my best friends 17 hours early to make sure we were first in line. I wasn't there for the merchandise. I was there to create a connection. Nobody wanted this as bad as me, and I wanted to prove that to them. Sure enough, we did just that. From that point on, I showed up to every event at the store. The Lyrical Lemonade Party, the private video shoot, and the Love Sack event.
The content that came out of those events was life-changing for me. It opened so many doors I didn't even know existed. Eventually, streaming started going so well for me I dropped out of college. Fast forward to June, I won a contest held by GFuel that won me a year-long sponsorship with SteelSeries, Digital Storm, and GFuel. Fast forward another 4 months, and here I am. It's currently 5 a.m. and I just put a 9-hour editing session. Nobody wants this more than me, and I mean, I'm here to prove that. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Honestly, I've never made like a documentary type video like this before, so it's 100% out of my comfort zone. And I learned a lot of stuff with editing while doing that as well, so it was sick. Other than that, thank you guys for your time, and I will see you in the future stages of round 2. Phase the fuck up. Let's get it.